40 miles northeast of here in the nation's capital. Things are a little more serious, but here at Budds Creek, Maryland, the sport of motocross puts everybody in a fun and joyous mood, very relaxed. Although the temperatures are high, this little guy looks pretty cool, and you never know who you might run into here. Maybe the world's best motocross riders. Perfection can be described as an unsurpassable degree of accuracy and excellence. Excellence in motocross is defined by Ricky Carmichael. Twice he cut a perfect swathe through the outdoor season.
Carmichael closing in on his 24th Moto win in a row.
So this is it. Another perfect season comes to a conclusion. Your winner, Ricky Carmichael.
Now it's James Stewart's turn.
Stewart, he knows where he's going, and that's straight to the top of the podium.
It's the perfect 10 for James Stewart.
James Stewart is 12 for 12.
Halfway through the 2008 season, Stewart has only the ghost of Carmichael to measure against as he chases his first motocross title. The greatest motocross races in the world are on the gate for round 7 from Budds Creek, Maryland. Lieutenant Colonel Gordon Niebergall and Lieutenant Colonel John Stone getting things off to a flying start. They're here from the Kelly Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas, and we thank them for everything they've done here today and their service for the United States of America. And as they split the skies, we split the season. This is a pivotal round. We move into the second half of 2008. This is the Monster Energy Budds Creek National, round 7 of the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship from Budds Creek, Maryland. Lovely to have your company, and what a lovely day it is here. Lee Diffie along with the champion Jeff Emig and Aaron Bates. As always, we're excited about this 7th round. So much going on at this wonderful track. It's running in reverse direction to the Motocross of Nations last September. You may remember that. And let's get you straight to some action. Jeff, let's talk practice.
Practice, the track was deep, muddy in spots. Stewart, though, was on the gas. Take a look. He's won 13 of 13 motos this season. Absolutely flying, but there were some riders that were much closer. Andrew Short, only 0.4 of a second off of Stewart in his fastest qualifying time. Look for Short to have a phenomenal day here at Budds Creek.
In addition to Andrew, Timmy Ferry, who has won here before, likes Budds Creek, performs well here, did well as far as practice and qualifying times. He was there saying, hey, I'm going to be a contender as well with the 3rd fastest time. And one of the real surprises and one of the revelations of practice and qualifying, Cody Cooper, the New Zealand rider on the 902, set the 4th fastest qualifying time, got the 4th best gate pick. We congratulate him on a job well done. Now we paint the picture as far as the 2008 AMA Toyota Motocross Championship is concerned, and almost 80 points to James Stewart. The better, the margin over Mike Alessi, who is not here this weekend. If you missed Red Bud in Michigan, Mike had a very scary crash. He is okay. We'll tell you more about that later, but that opens 2nd place right up for Timmy Ferry, for Davi Millsaps. The battle continues.
Yeah, there definitely is a very tight battle between Millsaps, Ferry, Short, and Michael Byrne. All these riders very close in speed, battling for the podium positions, for the bonuses and everything else that goes along with that. So look for them today to have some tight racing.
Moto 1 has already run. Let's bring you the highlights. It was interesting, and it was quite a frantic start. And as I mentioned earlier, we didn't have our regular whole shot winner, Mike Alessi, in this one. It looked like it was going to be another Suzuki rider, Michael Byrne, but in the end, climbing the hill, James Stewart got his Monster Energy Kawasaki in that #1 position and was never headed. And have a look at the return ride here for David Billerman. Gets stopped right on the hill. The whole field go on by. He recovers to finish in 18th position. Cody Cooper, we saw him, we mentioned him qualifying well. He was quick. he battled with Nick Way nicely.
And Josh Hill, number 40, on the factory Yamaha, having his best ride of the season, gets past Millsap up into 4th place.
And the youngster aboard his factory Yamaha would go on to finish 4th. Now, this battle went on for multiple laps, and it was a great demonstration. A very close call there, however, for Josh Hill. Almost went off the side of the track, and he was very determined. Equally so was Davi Millsaps, but the Yamaha rider would win out in the end. That exposed Davi to another of other riders, and one of those was Cody Cooper, who was bordering on out of control there through the downhill, recovered, gathered it up, and got that position away from Davi.
And Cody Cooper worked his way up into the 5th position. He had to pass a lot of very strong riders, but it was Tim Ferry who was working on Andrew Short for the entire moto.
And in the end, the checkered flag flew, and so too did the green machine of James Stewart. Yet another victory in the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship to keep his perfect championship campaign going. And he's also trying to win at Budds Creek in the motocross class for the very first time. That 2nd place, incidentally, to Timmy Ferry puts him into 2nd in the championship.
And Davi Millsaps, riding with an injury, worked his way back to 6th. Very strong ride. Sean Skinner inside the top 10.
And a good run for Nick Way as well. Also in the top 10, there is a very healthy crowd here. They're enjoying themselves at Budds Creek. Right in the middle of this championship, we're racing to the end. Will Stewart be able to keep this perfect run going? Can anyone take the fight to him? We'll find out when we come back. Back, and we're ready for Moto 2 of the motocross class. We're talking Budds Creek, round 7 of the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship. It is a very hot day here in southern Maryland, and the riders will work hard. The top 40 from practice and qualifying, you know the drill on the Honda race format. And if in the event of a tie, the rider who finishes in the higher position in the 2nd moto will yield the better result. Sadly, one rider who is not on the starting grid here this week at Budds Creek is Rockstar Makita Suzuki rider Mike Alessi, who had a very serious fall last weekend in Red Bud in Michigan, and everyone is wishing him well to recover from his injuries. I just want to warn you that some of you may find the following scenes quite alarming. It was a fairly graphic scene at Red Bud. Let's roll the tape and show you the crash from last week that injured Mike Alessi. He is the 2nd bike on the left.
Mike Alessi comes into the ruts here, swaps out, and when he hits the ground, he gets knocked out. But the problem is, he was 2nd off the start. There's a host of riders that come by.
He's lying there unprotected. Antonio Balbi was the first rider to collect him, and the worst is still to come. And sadly, several riders, they couldn't see. Obviously, it was not their fault. But the good news, the positive to come of this, is that Mike is on the recovery road very quickly, and he has a message for us all.
I just wanted to say thanks again for all the fan support, all the emails. Really, really appreciate it. I know it was a big crash and scared a lot of you, and I'm doing good now, so don't worry too much about me. I'll see you guys in a few weeks at the races. So I'll be out sporting my my new butt patch, the speed bump. So I'll look for you guys all at the races. See you guys in a few weeks.
He looks in a lot better condition than what I thought that he would be in. It was very positive outlook that he has. So he was so strong this year. Just such a loss, but it'd be great to have him back.
And a sense of humor in a time of adversity as well. A progressive pre-race report. Here's Aaron Bates.
Mike Alessi, a full factory Makita Suzuki rider, but his brother, the number 801 of Jeff Alessi, he's full privateer status. He's got some lead sponsors like Alpine Stars, Shark Helmets, and the St. Lawrence Radiology, who pays him a little bit of money each weekend to get here, but a minimum of $5,000 is what it costs for him to race. Even though he's on a Moto XXX Performance Honda, he is racing for Wonder Warthog privateer form. But his brother being out this weekend, he said it's a bummer that he's injured and hurt, but it means one more position for him this weekend.
Flying the flag for the Alessi family. Jeff on the 801. Keep an eye out for the Honda rider. We're going to leave Budds Creek momentarily, squeeze in a quick break. When we come back, it's Moto 2. Stick around.
All right, guys, can I get you anything else?
No, thanks. That'll be great.
name the time.
And enough motorcycle racing news and results to keep your adrenaline pumping. SpeedTV.com is the place. It's your online motorsports authority. We welcome you back to Budds Creek. 30-second board is up. We're ready to go racing. We go to the Suzuki starting grid. Fastest qualifiers in that order from earlier today here in Maryland. We're ready to roll. It was a comprehensive victory, yet another one from James Stewart. There aren't too many firsts for the Kawasaki rider, but this could be one. He's looking for his first motocross win at Budds Creek. This was RC's playground. Now James wants to make it his. Who gets the whole shot here? Climbing the hill, it's the 7 of James Stewart.
Back out in front, James Stewart has his starts dialed in. Could it be the absence of Mike Alessi that is allowing him to nab these hole shots also?
The Red Bull Honda boys up there as well. Andrew Short slots into second place. Nick Way's up there on the KTM. Great start from him. And Michael Byrne on the outside. He's got some business at hand to make up for after Moto 1.
That's Paul Carpenter, the Fox Racing Honda, with a great start also. Haven't seen him this far up front this season.
Byrne on the inside of Way.
It's a drag race up the freeway. Let's see if the inside line for Nick Way is going to work.
They've been applying plenty of water to the track throughout the day. Byrne gets the position. Dust is starting to fly now late in the day here at Budds Creek.
And here's the 902 of Cody Cooper, who had such a phenomenal ride the first moto. Just inside the top 10 here in the second.
Well, you've got to know that that was an irritation to Byrne, to Michael Byrne. He would not like to see another Suzuki rider ahead of him in any moto. Now you've got two Suzuki boys together.
Eric Sorby. That's Eric Sorby on the Yamaha coming around the outside. I think he just made the move on Nick Way.
Where is the double 1-8 of Davi Millsaps? Further back with work to do. This is Michael Byrne on the Rockstar Makita Suzuki. Great result at Red Bud a week ago. Really lifted his spirits. Got him going, got him motivated. Up front, James Stewart. First lap down in this 30-minute plus 2-lap moto. Andrew Short aboard the Red Bull Honda. Championship points, that's what it's all about as we enter the second half of the 08 AMA Toyota Motocross Championship. Can Byrne in third bridge that gap? And he's got pressure from behind. Cody Cooper is coming.
And Michael Byrne's really going to have to raise the intensity here this moto. Cody Cooper was just on the gas the first moto, feeling the flow. Michael Byrne, not quite the position that he wanted. But this is the battle here. This is a great start for both these riders.
Nick Way fending off the 917 of Eric Sorby. To answer the question we raised earlier, where is Davi Millsaps? He's down in 10th. Sorby on the outside, Way the inside. KTM stays ahead.
Sorby trying another outside line. Nick Way shuts the door. Sorby squares it back up. Just cannot find an opening here. Sorby riding the Joe Gibbs Racing Spike Yamaha.
Hey, a little rumor the coach is here this weekend.
That's the rumor. Impressive ride for Eric Sorby.
He'll be keen.
Oh, Nick Way pushes him wide. Slams the door.
Keen to put in a solid performance in front of the boss. The pressure's on to perform. Millsaps is back in 10th. Timmy Ferry back in 11th. With work to do, but time on their side.
Just behind them is Jace Lewis in 11th. He qualified really well, and also Albertson, who was up inside of the top 10 in qualifying, now sitting in 13th.
Jeff Alessi, Aaron had that pre-race report on Jeff. He's well placed in 7th early in this second moto. Sorby is not giving up. He is not letting Nick Way get away.
Sorby's such an exciting riding. He is just out of control most of the time, but such a great personality is Eric Sorby.
Here comes Timmy Ferry. He's got by Davi Millsaps, and he's got Jeff Alessi in his sights. But Aaron, tell us more about Sorby.
Well, guys, Sorby is a test rider for the team and actually is a replacement rider this weekend for Gavin Gracyk. Gavin continues to recover from a muscle tear in his tricep sustained while practicing at the team's compound in North Carolina. He is expected, though, to return for the last 3 races of the season.
Check the 15 of Timmy Ferry in the background. Finished second in the opening moto.
That's Jeff Alessi, just worked his way past Sorby, the JGR test rider. Sorby's.
Now it's a track race, just like earlier, and the Kawasaki will win this one. Timmy's got the inside line. No, Sorby goes high and wide. Great work, Eric Sorby. Not fazed by Timmy Ferry just putting the guard up there on the inside. And says you're not going to get it that easily.
And just sneaking in behind, just behind these riders as Ferry takes the spot from Sorby. Sorby's teammate, Josh Summey, running in 8th at the moment.
Another position for Timmy Ferry. Gets by the 801 of Alessi.
Tim Ferry's on the gas here late in the moto. The track's rough and nasty. He's been a professional motocross racer for a number of years. Physically fit and as strong as anyone out there. And look at the charge he's putting on. He wants Nick Way within this lap also. That's got to be 4 riders in the last half a lap.
In all the years of Ricky Carmichael's domination, Tim Ferry, as he just disposes of Nick Way as easily as you like, has that one moto highlight where he did beat RC many years ago during Ricky's 8 years of domination in the motocross class here. 8 consecutive years of winning. And James Stewart's on his way to his first.
This weekend, for Holland.
As he was in the opening moto, finished inside the top 10 in 8th. He's now battling here with the 801 Honda of Jeff Alessi. They finished 8th and 9th respectively in that opening moto. And here they are locked in a battle for 6th.
Track is absolutely treacherous here midway through, beginning to midway through the second moto here at Budds Creek. You can see just how deep the ruts are getting. There's so many line choices. And watch out, Jeff Alessi here on the Honda come through the inside, way on the outside is Nick Way. This is actually a section that they smoothed out in between motos. Cody Cooper here putting on a phenomenal ride, but the 15 of Tim Ferry, he is reeling him in really quick. Ferry is just absolute monster right now on the gas.
Andrew Short's comments after Moto 1 to Aaron were, it was pretty interesting. I thought I could hold Timmy off, but he cracked me. Just that relentless pressure, the pressure that he's applying to the New Zealand rider, Cody Cooper. Cooper knows that he's there right now.
Ferry trying to scrub the finish line. Gets to the inside. Could this be the line? Or is the outside going to work for Cooper?
Ferry gets it. And that he really likes that inside line through that section of the circuit.
That's 4th place for Tim Ferry. The next rider in line, Makita Rockstar Suzuki, Michael Byrne, who had a little problem in the first moto, fell off the pace a bit. Now has got a really solid second moto going, running in 3rd, but Michael Byrne's going to have to wick up the throttle because Tim Ferry is on the gas.
His Monster Energy Kawasaki teammate James Stewart has a lead of 7.6 seconds over the Red Bull Honda of Andrew Short. Then this rider here, Michael Byrne, then Timmy Ferry.
This is the Budds Creek Freeway here coming up through there. See, Cooper's not backing off at all. He really is putting on a strong ride as Ferry has just closed right up on the back of Michael Byrne. And Ferry, he is not following anyone. If the rider in front is on the inside, he's on the outside, and vice versa. He's not wasting any time this moto.
Remember what we told you earlier with the absence of Mike Alessi, and with that brilliant second in the opening moto, Timmy Ferry is now 2nd in this AMA Toyota Motocross Championship. Looks for the inside line on Michael Byrne.
Byrne to the outside. Ferry choosing whatever line the rider in front of him isn't. Here he is around the inside on the brakes.
Let's see what resilience Michael Byrne demonstrates.
Ferry's got a spot to the inside down this hill. Can he sneak by the inside?
Byrne is not giving up, but he's going to be forced to. Ferry gets the preferred line. He's got the momentum, checks where Byrne is, but he's clear.
What an effort by Tim Ferry is just on the gas. You see these riders having to work their way just through these little rollers. You're having to turn the bike as you're going through this little double-double. Michael Byrne looking for an answer here. Can he square up Ferry?
Can he go with Timmy? Can he just stay with him? Can he do what Timmy Ferry did to Andrew Short in that opening moto? Just shadow the rider in front, maybe force them into a mistake, see where you can get by. But Timmy Ferry seems to have too much pace right now. Timmy's mechanic will be pleased with the progress. We'll be back.
Best part about
Davi Millsaps inside the top 10, but not as high up as we're used to seeing Davi. He is not at 100% fitness. He's riding injured, but still doing a very creditable job. He's mixing it up with the 24 of Charles Summey.
Well, I spoke with Charles earlier today, actually, Lee, and he decides he's going to go back to Josh, which is his name that he's used throughout his professional career. When he joined the team with JGR, he was on the team with another Josh Hansen. Too many Joshes in the house, so it says he's back, though. So you're looking at Josh Summey, 24, coming under fire from Davi Millsaps.
So it's Stewart, Short, Ferry. Nothing's changed while we're away in the break. Byrne and Cooper, that's the top 5. Then Way, Summey, Millsaps, Jeff Alessi, and Carpenter, the top 10. Josh Hill, who had that magnificent ride in the opening moto, is further back in 12th.
Take a look at the countdown clock at the top of your screen. Just over 17 minutes to go, and then they'll throw the 2-lap board. Plenty of time here for Millsaps to work his way past some riders, but Summey's not giving it up easy, that's for sure.
He's got the inside, Davi Millsaps. Does he drift too wide? Does Summey switch back? No. He's got the better momentum. A position gain. Well done, Davi Millsaps.
Nick Way's the next rider in line for him. You notice Millsaps trying to carry some momentum on the outside. It's a little quicker getting in, but then that inside, once you get locked and loaded, you shoot right out. Back down big gulp.
The old saying, the person you want to beat the most as he comes up on Nick Way now is your teammate. I can't wait to see the points at the end of this one. Rounds the outside on Nick Way. That was fairly clinical. That was easy for Millsaps. Can't wait to see the points at the end of this one, Jeff, because he and Andrew Short, Millsaps and Andrew Short, are engaged in a very intense battle in that championship chase. Coming into this round, only 7 points separated Millsaps and Short. We'll talk more about that. We're going to go back to the progressive whole shot replay.
You see around the 90-degree turn, James Stewart has it all the way. Carpenter was there on the outside, but Stewart just absolutely blasted around, totally in control, as he's been all weekend long.
Summey comes through and is now fighting with Nick Way after that brilliant start aboard his KTM. Nick's doing the best he can to stay up there as high as he can.
The distance between Andrew Short and Tim Ferry.
Now, it was a brilliant start for Eric Sorby, but he is stationary and it looks like day done.
We're taking a look at the bike right now. You see some of the mechanics there. Alex Ewing working on the bike. Jeremy Albrecht spent many years with Factory Kawasaki, was my mechanic. James Stewart, now team manager of Gibbs Racing. Looking down at the bike, some issue, but this is part of the development. There's the man himself, Joe Gibbs, taking a look on. First year of his motocross and supercross team. He has to be very happy with the presentation. They've had a few growing pains, though, this year.
What a super talented man. Coach Gibbs, is there nothing he can't do?
And you just have to think that he excelled at the football, professional football, because he knew how to put together and run multiple personnel team. Now he does this with NASCAR and also Supercross and Motocross, and it's a real pleasure to have him in our sport and the dedication that he has for it to be associated with motocross.
And of course, Joe Gibbs Racing has been in the headlines not only because of the wonderful things Kyle Busch has been doing and winning in NASCAR Sprint Cup, but the departure of one of their star drivers, Tony Stewart, separating, leaving the family and going his own way as JGR continues to build their motocross family. About Speed Mobile, simply text KX to 773333 and get the latest motorcycle racing news and results. Speed Green Alerts, presented by Kawasaki. Right on cue, we see the Kawasaki of James Stewart out in front. How far? Almost 17 seconds.
Just a massive lead for James Stewart as Kawasaki presents him to us, along with Monster Energy. And you just see Stewart just manhandling a bike that is just a monster of a machine. And Kawasaki built a machine for him along with the other technicians to that him and Tim Ferry have just had so much success on this summer.
This has been a huge round for Andrew Short. Slightly disappointed that he lost the second position in the opening moto to Timmy Ferry, but solidly in second here now. He has a 3.1 second gap back to Ferry. Let's see if he can hang on. There's 12.5 minutes to go in this moto, plus the additional 2 laps. He said he cracked. Timmy cracked him in the first one. Let's see if he can stay solid in this one and hang on to that 3-2 result. Here comes Timmy now. It's less than 3.1 seconds. Ferry is here all of a sudden. Now he just menaced Short in the opening moto. Let's see if he makes it faster, sharper move here in the second.
Well, what Ferry needs to do is keep on doing what he's been doing, and as he's just not following whenever he closes in on another rider, he just comes up on the back of him but does not follow, uses alternate lines. This is for the overall. This is for second overall. I mean, Ferry pulls the tear off, going to try to reset here. Now he's on Short. He's close enough to catch the roost. So let's see if Ferry's line, see him diving to the inside, hard on the brakes. It's one thing to catch a rider, then you have to find a faster line, and you have to be very aggressive with that line, know your spot, and then absolutely hammer it when the opportunity presents itself.
How do you gain that confidence and that strength to back yourself to try different lines that we see Timmy Ferry do week in, week out? Is it just down to experience?
Yeah, it's experience. It's just an instinct that develops. And right here, Ferry to the inside. This could be it.
He's got it, and he does it much faster than in the opening moto. Boy, no shadowing Andrew Short there. It was here I come and here I go.
Wow, just such a powerful move where Short left the inside open. The line for the 450s, it's tough to make that tabletop, but Ferry just got in there, hammered the throttle, even took a look over, adjusted his goggles for a second. Now he's gone. Tim Ferry running a 1:58 to Short's 2-minute flat lap time, so Ferry a full 2 seconds a lap faster at this point. He's going to check out. Kawasaki riders are 1-2.
Huge day for Kawasaki, for the green machines at Budds Creek. In the motocross lights class, Ryan Villapoto was just unstoppable. And here, Kawasaki 1-2 yet again. As it was in the opening moto, here we are with just 10 minutes to go in the second. It's James Stewart and his Monster Energy Kawasaki teammate Timmy Ferry second. Behind, it's Short, Byrne, Cooper. Jeff Alessi is in the top 6. Great run there ahead of Nick Way. Josh Hill has worked his way up aboard his Yamaha into the top 7. He's just got by Nick Way, and then Josh Summey, and then Jimmy Albertson has broken into the top 10. Let's take you back just a few moments and watch you how decisive, and let you watch how decisive Timmy Ferry was.
Ferry jumps to the inside, the outside line, Short here. Oh, Short goes to the middle, and he was really tentative and slow getting into the turn. Ferry seen the opportunity, stole that position away. Short is not going to be happy. When she's interviewed by Aaron, he's going to say, I let it happen once again. He broke me once again.
Still a 3-3 is great championship points for Andrew Short. And that will put him in a very strong position in regards to the fight against his teammate, Davi Millsaps, who is out from our timing monitor in the top 10. What has happened to Davi Millsaps? We'll investigate it and find out when we come back.
We spent 4 days.
When the curtain closed on Ricky Carmichael's Supercross and Motocross career, he had 150 victories. This was a year ago at Budds Creek, and RC notched up his 100th outdoor victory in style. The way he conducted his entire motocross, supercross career. Outdoor win, number 100. What an accomplishment. Whereas this man here is going for his very first, of course, not outdoor victory, but it's going to be his very first motocross overall win in the motocross class.
Yeah, here at Budds Creek. So Ricky Carmichael and James Stewart had one heck of a battle last year, but no Carmichael this year. It's all about James Stewart. He is marching his way into the record books. He's not there. We're at the 7th round. There's still quite a bit of racing left, but you have to think that James Stewart is just bordering on perfection right now. Take a look at the all-time win leaders. This is in the MX class. Carmichael, 76. I'm back there in 5th with 16, and James Stewart still a few behind.
He's zeroing in on you though, mate.
He could pass me up by the end of the season.
When we went to the last commercial break, we promised you that we would update you on Davi Millsaps. Aaron Bates has more. Aaron?
Well, guys, it was questionable whether or not Davi Millsaps was even going to race here this afternoon. He went out there, gave it his best effort, but he did crash during that second moto, and he re-injured his already injured shoulder. He's packed it up, headed back to the pits for the afternoon, but we hope to see him back in competitive form soon.
That's tough for Davi.
3 DNFs out of the last 4 motos. That is going to be devastating for his points. It's going to be devastating in the battle to be the top Honda rider in the series.
And riders like Michael Byrne, Nick Way, who are like hungry wolves climbing the championship points ladder. That motivates them while it hurts Millsaps even more. Long way to go. This is the halfway pivot point of the championship. So many more rounds. Unadilla coming up next. We stay in the Northeast in the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship, and this man here, James Stewart, stays out in front. 3 consecutive wins at this track in the motocross lights. It's a special day as far as the motocross class is concerned because Ricky Carmichael just dominated this place for so many years. 8 consecutive victories for RC. Now it's James' turn.
Well, guys, Josh Summey bent a shifter lever in that first moto, but Josh, you're pulled off again. What took place this time?
The bike started to seize over there on the back, and I just didn't want to chance it. It started getting real tight.
Coming from his personal best performance, 5th overall last weekend, this is not how he wanted to continue the roll.
Such a disappointing look on Josh's face there. First moto did not go his way, but this moto he really got it together and was putting in such a strong ride, having so many people from Gibbs Racing here, including the big man. It's not how you want to go down. But it's that type of determination and desire that he has to where we'll see him back again next week running strong, I'm sure.
Jeff, there aren't too many people at this level of the sport who can appreciate or have ever experienced what it's like to be out in front of a field like this and lead and dominate. You did it, you experienced it. How tough is it to keep your focus like James Stewart has to right now to stay out in front and keep pushing every lap?
Well, with the absence of Mike Alessi, who really was the closest competitor to James Stewart speed-wise and was knocking on the door, he was inching closer each and every moto. It really blows it wide open. I mean, Short right now is he's running 3rd. He's 32 seconds behind our leader. So, you know, make the point there. Stewart is very dominant. And so the race truly is against himself to keep focused, to keep motivated, to not give up at all, and to keep that same sort of intensity going as you get through this championship that he had with the opening round. And I think that what will also keep that going is the opportunity to have an undefeated season and match Ricky Carmichael with an undefeated season. That's just unreal.
A little further down the order is the 42 of Paul Carpenter. He's in the top 10. There's Jeff Alessi on the 801. It's a little further down the order. Nick Way on the 27 KTM. Further down the order, but the intensity hasn't dropped. This is important for these guys. Every championship point counts.
This is the battle for 7th here. Alessi's in 7th. You got Nick Way running back in 8th.
The 702 of Jimmy Albertson, who in the opening moto just missed out on breaking into the top 10.
And that's Paul Carpenter just behind them. He was Privateer of the Year in the Supercross Championship. Put on some very strong rides. This is tough. This is when the track is at its worst. You can see all the riders going wide. The inside line just must have some huge bumps and a deep rut. With all these riders stacking up, it's the rider that is behind, as Nick Way. If he gets in behind Alessi makes a mistake that could allow Albertson to sweep around the outside. I'm even getting tired in the second moto.
And you just know that Jeff Alessi's brother Mike, who we heard from earlier in the broadcast, is at home watching. Hey Mike, we're missing those magnificent hole shots. Get better, get back soon. But he's saying, come on Jeff, take this line, watch that, they're coming, do this. He's riding that Honda along with his brother, willing him along to stay ahead of Nick Way. 1 minute to go, plus 2 laps in the final moto here at Budds Creek.
Yeah, so we're going to have 3 laps, 3 more times by the stripe for these riders. Tight battle for 7th.
Pressure in the closing laps. It has been a hard day's work for everybody, as we congratulate the folks here at Budds Creek for putting on another brilliant day.
The best damn
Bates with you here, and you're looking at the teenager on board the factory Yamaha, Josh Hill. And we mentioned this earlier in the day, Jeff, that he got tangled up, got caught up in the wrong direction with some off-track indiscretions earlier this year, was reprimanded, and that just seemed to refocus him, and he has been riding much better, much stronger, much faster, with some clear vision. And in this race, in this moto, he was well outside the top 10, a tough start, tough break, and he's forced his way through into 6th place late in this moto and charging hard. He's 1 and 2 seconds faster than the boys up ahead.
Yeah, that definitely was the wake-up call, as you would call it, for Josh Hill there, and he's put together some very promising rides here. His starts have really been off the pace, but right now, currently 6th, still racing forward late in the moto on a very difficult track, very strenuous, hot day. He's kind of out there no man's land by himself, running 6th and a good 10, 11 seconds behind Cody Cooper at the moment. But he's still charging hard, putting in the fastest laps of anyone out there right now.
Well, the promising thing as James Stewart gets the white flag, he's on his way home. The encouraging thing for Yamaha and for Josh Hill, he's never had an inside top 10 finish in both motos. It's going to be a 4-6 result for Josh Hill. That is a season best. As James Stewart is pumping his fist, acknowledging the crowd, he's done it. He's on his way to his first motocross victory here at Budds Creek.
So this is it. He's done 13 of 14 now. Can it be 14, or 13 of 13, excuse me. He's on his way for 14 out of 14 motos. The pressure's now going to start mounting.
When people start talking about the perfect season. The last rider to win here, who was not called Ricky Carmichael, was way back in 1999, Kevin Windham. Well, James Stewart is going to change all that here today.
Just an incredible ride, complete domination. Just what we've seen from him all summer long. And like he said, I sat at home during the Supercross Championship. I thought about what I wanted to do with my career and with my life. Got together with his family, his trainer Eldon Baker, his team, Monster Energy Kawasaki and all of his close friends and associates, and decided what he wanted to do was dominate motocross and supercross racing once again. He's got all the makings. He's always had the speed. He's always had the talent, but failed sometimes in concentration and focus. And I think that the addition of Eldon Baker and all the hard work that James is going through, it's bringing all that together and putting together all the pieces of the puzzle.
It's the extra mile on your bicycle. It's the extra repetition in the weights room. It's the extra lap on the practice track that makes these moments all the better, all the more satisfying. James Stewart continues this perfect season, unbeaten, and his very first motocross win at Budds Creek. Finally, there is somebody else on the winner's board than Ricky Carmichael. His name, James Stewart, does it in Maryland, and that is 14 consecutive motos. He is victorious. Kawasaki, James Stewart on top again.
Coming July 21st, it's an all-new...
It's changing as far as the rider who is dominating this motocross championship. We go to the Toyota truck scoreboard, 1-1 for James Stewart. That just represents what 2008 has been about. 2-2, 3-3 for Ferry and Short. We'll hear from those boys shortly, but first up, James Stewart with Aaron.
James Stewart is taking it all in as he celebrates his very first motocross win here at Budds Creek. James, you're the kind of guy that likes to have a little bit of fun, likes some competition up front with you. With Mike Alessi sitting out, what is it at this point of the season that's keeping you driven and motivated?
I want to win, and I mean, these guys are tough. You know, I think everybody kind of picked it up. Andrew and Timmy picked it up this weekend to feel like Gaff, and can't let it go. You know, I kind of struggled, all day, but that's not happening anymore. I'm going to try my hardest to keep focused, and I feel good. I'm having a good time, and felt good.
Congratulations on a perfect season so far. We'll see if it continues.
Thank you. Hope so.
Yes, he'll be doing everything to make it continue as we go to the points, and it's blown out to in excess of 100 points, first to second.
Yeah, but the race for second, it's starting to tighten up. Andrew Short has gone past Millsaps now, and Michael Byrne up there in the top 5. Still a pretty good battle going on for second through fifth.
Time now to hear from our second place man, and it's only the second time this year he's been in the top 2 overall. Here's Timmy Ferry.
Tim Ferry, all smiles, making it back up into the box for the overall. Tim, you got pinched off right at the start there and battled your way up through the pack. What are we going to do to get that start you need?
You know, my starts are kind of coming around. Really, I guess that really wasn't that bad of a start for me, but I tucked the inside. I thought I had something, and Justin Sipes came on the inside, and he almost went down in front of me and almost took us out. But I don't know, I'm just going to keep plugging away, and I feel comfortable now at the speed I'm riding. I'm not crashing, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Tim Ferry, you can expect that he's going to turn up the volume at this point. And Andrew Short, deja vu from the first moto. What is it that you can do to hold Tim Ferry off and make it not happen again?
I don't know. I got a great start, which was the key and what I wanted to do. But I just didn't have it there at the end. He had more speed and fitness, and it was a beautiful day for racing. The weather was great. The track was awesome. And I'm pretty excited to still finish on the podium.
Well, guys, we wrap things up here at Budds Creek as we head next week to Unadilla.
It's his 3rd overall podium of the year. He gets better with every round.
Yeah, and the home stretch is just around the turn here, so James Stewart looks unbeatable still.
On behalf of Aaron Bates and Jeff Emming, I'm Lee Diffie. We hope you can be with us for the next round from Unadilla in New York. You've been watching Motocross on Speed. Tonight didn't go as